What up, everybody? It's Ponter here. Today we've got a special video. We're back on Seaside. Now, we are so back, everybody. You know, enough of these unique, never played before, brand new maps. No, we're going back to Seaside. I mean, I don't think we've had a Seaside game on this channel for months, and I just know everybody's been hurting. Everybody needs to be back on Seaside and in the weapons. Take our guns away. And yeah, it's gonna be a match mode game, and the teams are good in the context. So we just played, this is played in January. We had just played a Riviera game, and we had this Justianos, who I thought was bullied out of the community, and he's come back, so that's great. And he was on our team playing armor, and we had to micro him so hard to beat, and managed to beat Donald's team, and it was pretty annoying to play, honestly. And he leaves this one, so we're not going to have a Justianos one, but these are the teams, and I'll be playing in this one, playing air with bullets, and I really do like this team. This is a great team. We have Dex on armor, again, Blitz on air. We'll give him yellow color, and Kickapoo on infantry. Honestly, you know, I couldn't get a better team. Maybe a different support, but you know, we gotta keep things balanced, because I know there's gonna be some coping about balance. I'm gonna preempt the coping. I know Kid A, can we'll probably have some comments on these teams, but yeah, it's Donald Duck, Kid A, Alien, JC Poppy, and Spirit Gun on the USSR team. And our plan is, again, double air. You know, none of this double support nonsense. You know, let's just do air, and it's the logical strategy on this one. And we're already scheming this. All TA to Dex. Gonna do a fuel air bomb. He loves those. That's the classic. But really, you can't plan too much for what they're gonna do. You can do some metagaming, and I'm gonna be talking about that later once we see the teams and the results. But Kickapoo is calling double inf. I am saying I'll be flex. I'm such a fucking idiot. And yeah, so they kind of know the strategy already. Such a flexer. And yeah, there's some jokes about that. And Small Island, you better help Cap Town. I swear to God, Small Island. And then if they're 2-inf, we must hold beach. So with that foreshadowing, is Kickapoo going to be right on the double inf? And looking at this team, I would say, yeah, that's probably a double inf team. And lo and behold, it's double inf. So Spirit Gun and Alien are both going infantry. Lots of JC Poppy is on support, and I managed to pop him on the beach. And I should have attack grounded this now, looking back, but I decided to chuck some missiles into this tank for fun. Now, everybody knows this already, but I'm going to talk about the meta on Seaside. Maybe you guys have forgotten it, because I haven't done a video on this map in a very long time. I'm also wasting TA right off the bat. I fucking... yeah, but this map is snowbally. So look at this. Very important building location of infantry in the building. They do manage to get the cap of beach. Unfortunate. We're going to decap it immediately, but we are preventing the cap. And this is the great thing about double air, is you can really prevent the caps of town. Like, look, I see they're going for it. I'm going to swing around and try to deny it. And I'm going to sacrifice everything. I'm going to chuck missiles, even though I don't have a scout. And a clutch deny from Kickapoo. So between myself and Kickapoo, we managed to stop that cap, because this is a snowball map. Again, all of the air is just camping this point, and I figure, well, you know, why not just kill the tanks too? We cannot let them cap town. It's mission critical to prevent that. And also, we've got the light tanks hunting down the really overextended AA. And again, I leave the town just to kill these unprotected tanks, but I really should be camping here. And this is what double inf, I think, fails at on this map, is really enabling caps. Because especially this strategy that they do here, look at this, we're actually going to get the first cap of town. That's huge for the USA. USA should not be getting the first cap of town, but a double in for the infantry player is all-inning beach, and which is going to help them get beach. He's also getting stuff in here, but it's really going to prevent, lucky bastard, smokes. Really going to prevent them from getting into town in a very strong way, because like this is devastating. Like, this is the death position, but it's not helping them in town, and like small islands burning LGBs. I'm glad I could see that it was his LGB. You know, they do have a lot of the strategic buildings here, but they don't get into this. They don't get into this in a very strong way. I'd almost prefer an interesting, yeah, Dex is doing light tank drops on the beach, because it is clear, like we can see it's clear with the double air is good at exterminating everything, but it's not good at capping, so you do need to do drops and whatnot. But the double inf, if it doesn't get into these buildings, and we're just going to ignore me failing at split micro. I lose 2 choppers. I also, am I going to kill the sniper? This is what you should be doing with, oh my god, at least kill the sniper, bro. I'll kill the light tank. Maybe I'm going to help out here. But look at what Dex does. 16 minutes, or we're at 16 minutes, so 4 minutes in. So against the double inf, gonna do the fuel air bomb, the daisy cutter. Oh, and it's a juicy one too. It just kills everything. Doesn't kill that building, but almost does. And he has the light tanks ready to go. Like, this is esports pro high level Seaside play right here. Like, that's what you gotta do. Like, don't save for the nuke. You know, you can use a fab, and you can do it on the other side as well. Especially against a double infantry team, it's devastating. Like, this used to be like you could have done it even faster anyway. Like, if he had not burned 16 TA on the light tank drops onto the beach, and if we haven't burned like 20 TA on, well, 16 TA on laser guided bombs, we could have got that way sooner and probably got a cap way sooner. And look at the double air. It's really going to start telling, especially against like a newer support player like JC. It's tough to deal with this, and we start running riot. And this is where the snowball starts getting out of control for the double infantry team. And, you know, we're spawn raping, we're killing jeeps. You know, Kitty can't do much. We're ignoring the team pings to spawn rape. A very risky position here, you know. But, and again, this is an interesting use of TA. We told everybody, didn't we tell everybody to give TA to Dex? Oh well. But we still managed to get back to the beach alive. Don't spawn rape on this map. Like, they're always going to spawn a ton of AA right under you, and you're going to, just at the moment you used your flares or something. The double air is brutal. There's an air to air right there. Nice try, guys. You know, you can't catch us. And they are still winning, though. Like, it's pretty easy for USSR. They did the correct thing. They immediately decapped, and then also Elian has started to push into town. Like, he's not just only going to beach, and that's really going to cause problems for Kickapoo. But Kickapoo has the immediate reaction. He sees, okay, and that's a nice, very nice cap. Again, this is why you want the inf in these buildings at all times. I go into a rage at allowing that cap and sack all my choppers. Kickapoo is doing the right thing. I actually lose everything. We're just going to ignore that. He's doing the right thing by gassing town. Like, I mean, it's a war crime. I cannot support. He's actually killing his own units, too. I didn't notice that. The war crime. You shouldn't gas people, even in wartime. But as an infantry player, you know, you don't want to destroy all your buildings. And this is a way to deal with getting glomped by double infantry. Why not just gas them? Especially in the critical areas where they want to go, and ouch, that hurts. In the critical areas they want to go, just gas them. It really helps. In the meantime, we got a nice cap of town again. Dex is just so, like, let's take a look at Dex's armor play for a moment. All light tanks, not a single heavy tank, and he's just crushing it right there. And against Donald, never put units on that point. He loves to cluster that point, so never do it. Nice job, Small Island, not getting involved in the caps. Exactly the opposite of what Kickapoo asked, but at least he's in town. At least he's in town dying to infantry. And I think as an infantry player, when you're doing the double inf on this map, flooding the place with shitheads really helps. Even though your natural instinct is snipers and ATs, and I just want to point out, Kickapoo sniper here has not been killed. And that's another major mistake, especially against a double, like when you're double inf and you see a sniper in this building getting up to a captain, it's basically like an anti-infantry machine gun, you know, covering the entire town. Like, look at the coverage this gets. Like, just kill this thing, man. Like, they're obviously saving for a nuke or something, or they didn't get a lot of, like, the TA difference is bad, but this should have been killed. And then that's the other issue with double inf on this map is your infantry players are going to be hurting for TA. And instead, we have enough TA to do a nuke because we've been relatively sparing with it. Are we going to get a denial? Is Kick going to jump out in time? Oh, he does. Oh, yeah. It's brutal when the other team has a nuke or has inf in there. Denies that. Everybody dies from the nuke. And yeah, it's really not looking good for the USSR team. But if you notice that chat going on, there was some questions about, hey, why don't we kill the research? And I think that is the correct move when you want to go for the kill on this map. You got to go for research. Like, this is good. Like, it gums up the works. It slows them down. But and finally, Small Island got on the cap. You got to go for this to really put away a team. Because as much as I said this is a snowbally map, and it's really snowbally when you're in this position, just getting wrecked by double air. And why haven't they switched yet? Oh, man. You can still come back. You can still come back from this position. I mean, you have to be purely delusional, but you can come back from this. And we'll see. We'll see what they do. But this is pretty daunting. We're going to go spawn rape some more. Like banging on Kid A in her spawn, like killing her ranked up choppers before they get repped. That's pretty rude. Actually, she survives and we eat a bunch of missiles. So, and I inexplicably go and charge a bunch of shitheads in the open just to kill an AT. But we're not going to talk about that. We start clearing research to really just shut them down, and they finally go air. About 10 minutes too late, I would say. And just to talk about this team composition, I know what the cope is going to be like. Oh, we have a lot of gold. There's a lot of gold on this team. What could we have done? I would have said Elian and Kid A on air, because those two players are very strong on air. And then, you know, Spirit Gun can chop it up with Kickapoo. Like, Kickapoo's obviously going to be on the infantry on this team, and you just basically have to airbang harder. Because, you know, you can airbang Small Island. Like, Small Island, like, not very few players can handle double air, like, consistently, especially on this map. Like, good double air will tear apart a support player on this map. And it would have made their push on beach a lot more manageable. They might have been able to get some more caps of town. And, yeah, I think double air is still the meta on this. Like, I have been in this position of this team where you're kind of think that the best option you have is just to go double inf because you have a lot of good inf players. And look, an excellent denial by Dex and Kick right here. Just so obnoxious. But Donald manages to get a good crush going, and they get attacked. And see, look, they do come back. This is a problem, though. There's no inf in there from us, but just as I say it, we do a scan and drop and just start sanitizing this. And this is not defended at all. Like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, one drop here, covering the entire research. Like, where are their drops? And why isn't this dead yet? Like, look at the building health. It's so low. Like, an air player should just run in and slam like 4 Hellfires into this. That would work. Or if you could run a para up and hit it with. But they haven't really done any big no nukes, no fabs. Like, where's all the TA gone? I don't know. They really are not producing a lot. Like, look at Dex has doubled the score of their highest score player, and the highest score player is Elian, the infant air player. It goes to show. I don't think they generated TA from capping. We'll see that in the scores later. and they didn't generate score from reps. And that's another thing double air does really well, is like you get a lot of reps. And the air players aren't spending TA if they're smart, and they're just giving it to the inf players. And it looks like I almost got hit by that. Like, fuck. And yeah, so double air is, I think, the superior option on this map. And I think that's why the double support opener is so potent, because a lot of teams are just going to be lazy and they're going to go for the double air start. It's just you turn off your brain and just do it, and you don't have to worry about much. A little bit of flaring. Let's see, can we deny this? I'm just going to sack my chopper and kill a support, but yeah, I should have gone for that guy. I didn't have line of sight. And oof, that's a rough TB, but it's too late now. Like, this, with this decapped, again, because their attention is split, like, you basically can attack 2 places at once on this map. And oh, nice try to air, but we flared out of it. Get fucked. And you can attack 2 out of the 3 places. So if you pressure town all the time and then pressure this, and look at this flood of drops, like kick and decks are just dropping like madmen on this. And there's their nuke. We heard the nuke notification. Too little, too late. Like a fuel air bomb here and a bunch of drops probably would have been better at this point, because like, look at our, like, we're spread out all over the place, and this one, it's right there. That's kind of an awkward spot for a nuke. Like, you probably want to bury it here. It's kind of awkward to nuke on this map from the USSR side, especially like unless you're really just wrecking the town, because you put it here and it can be easily driven around. It's gonna decap this, but we don't really care at this point. Like, we hold all this stuff, and this is well defended, and we hold the beach. They're getting into the APC spamming position. Yeah, and another thing with the double inf is the sunk cost fallacy, and it's an interesting. Yeah, so the sunk cost fallacy of the double inf, it precludes you from switching fast. Like in double support, you're like, wow, whatever, it's not working, I'm just gonna switch immediately. But with double inf, maybe you have 30 TAs worth of drops on the field, and we're just gonna ignore me getting wrecked here. Oh fuck. If you have all that stuff on the map, you're not going to switch immediately, and that's what really happened to this team. Is they were stuck on that double inf for 10 minutes when, another air to air, when they could have been, switch to mediums, and, I don't even know if switching to mediums would have helped them, but if Elian just went heavy air kind of earlier on, this match might have been a little less, one-sided, let's say. Now, let's see, is that going to hit? Oh, it only gets 1. That's a GG, though. Look at the monster capping. Like, this is the problem with making mistakes on Seaside, and this is why we are such dicks about it. And it really, you can't have a weak player if the other team doesn't have a weak player. So I think the teams weren't that even, and the strats were not the right strats. And then at least the decision to do double infantry, probably not the right idea on this one. And then not switching once it was clearly that it wasn't working, that was also a mistake. But anyways, that's a good GG on Seaside. A nice W for the stack team. Let's go. And hopefully we can play, I'd like to see some farmland games. Like, I haven't done a farmland game in a while. Or, I don't know, some of the more general maps. Maybe we'll get some new maps out in the coming months and get some good games on that. But GG all around. Don't do a double inf. It's not for the faint of heart. I don't think it is the meta anymore on this map. But yeah, maybe it can work. We'll see. Anyways, take it easy, guys. Later.